Yeah, today I'm going to talk about evolving two tether and two new rigs. Two new rigs I'm putting together. Uh, one's for hunting and one of them is maneas. So I'm going to talk about how basically two tether evolved. And right over here on these trees, on this tree here, that is my maneas set that I'm making for ascending and descending. And back here, this would have been the type of tether rigs that would have been used for thousands of years, except it would have been made out of cordage, natural plant fibers, or vines, things like that. And this rig is the one I'm putting together for this year to actually hunt out of. And I'm actually specifically putting it together for traditional bow hunting, because I'd rather bow hunt than about any other way. But I'm going to start off by comparing, how much have they really evolved. If I look at the traditional way that the oldest type two tether was actually hooked to a tree, it was using this knot, a timber hitch. And other than, this is synthetic rope with over 7,000 pound breaking strength, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what the breaking strength of what they used was. I would not recommend this because the modern tethers that have been designed are better. They're safer, I should say. They're safer. They're safer in their design. If I look to a maneas, now I don't have this one completed yet, but I have a braided area for my leg loop, and it has double stirrups. Has double stirrups for both feet, so that when you get up on the pole, you use a lanyard around the pole, put a foot in each stirrup, and then you're able to work hands-free. But in the process of climbing, you only use one foot and both stirrups on one foot. And the leg loop, the upper tether, will go up on your thigh, is how it's actually used, same way that I use mine. Now in this one, I have to put a bridge right here. And in some places like New Zealand, I talked to an instructor there. They use a third tether for a safety. In Colombia, they also use a third tether for safety, but it's not necessary to climb. It's not part of the climb itself, but it is there for safety. In Mexico, the bridge that they put in here, they tie in with their lineman's belt or upper body harness. The bridge will loop these two together, and it'll be worked in the same way this is, and you'll hook into it. Now, that's the same way the design on the rigs that I use is. It's very similar. The rope I use is specifically designed for arborists, so it's tree work, tree climbing. The rope that they use is specifically used for climbing concrete and wooden poles, and it's completely moisture resistant. It does not any water, which you wouldn't want that, because electricity travels through it, whereas a rope like I have would hold larger amounts of moisture in it. But as far as the two techniques and the way that they're used, they're the same. So maneas and two tether are the same. Now, I found out from an instructor in New Zealand that the original people of New Zealand referred to this as peia, P-E-I-A, and they actually used this technique to gather food. So there's a lot of history behind this climbing technique. In speculation, it could be thousands of years old, and I find that it's used in different parts of the world, and there's a lot more information I would like to be able to find on it. Unfortunately, Google is not up to date on the majority of this information, and researching through Google is basically useless. In the last year, I've actually ended up contacting people from different parts of the world and finding more out, and it's still a slow process. But my rig that I'm working on for this year, again, it's if I didn't say it already, I'm specifically designing it for primitive archery. Whenever you're a primitive archer, you realize that keeping your body straight, your knees, your hips, and your shoulders aligned when you're shooting. You can be sitting down or anything like that, but it's important to keep yourself aligned. Now, last year I used a lock-on type tree stand, and I had a little bit of luck with it. I ended up killing my doe with my traditional bow, and I really don't like the metal stand. It's light, but I don't like the noise of it. And I find that I do better with something that I was using before, which is a ring of steps. So I'm going back to a ring of steps. I'm working on a system altogether. I still like my rigid seat better than any soft seat that I've used so far. But that's where I'm at, messing with two tether right now. And I know a lot of guys say that two tether is evolving in the saddle hunting community, but personally, from what I'm seeing, I would say it was de-evolving. And the reason that I say that is because I don't say it being safer. I don't see an increase in efficiency. And basically, two tether is being able to take two short ropes, and basically making the tree kind of like your rope, and your tethers are kind of like prusicks, and you just work up the tree. And a lot of people talk about limbs, but I don't know what the woods look like where a lot of you guys live. But if you look through these woods, there is literally hundreds of trees that I can climb in, and at the absolute most I would have to do is maybe cut off a limb a half inch, no more than an inch, to reach 20 feet in the majority of these trees. In fact, I would never have to cut a limb off and still be able to get 20 feet in the majority of these trees. But that's where I'm at. I actually watched a video the other day. I've never done a speed climb and put it out. I have tested myself, and I'm actually getting pretty good. Maybe I should make a video on that. I don't really suggest people climb fast, but rather moderate. Less likely to make mistakes. The majority of climbing that's done today, even with proper equipment, when there is a accident that takes place, very rarely, it is very rare that anybody has an accident ascending the tree. It usually takes place on the descend. The descend or to transfer, and whether it be transfer around the limb or anything like that. So you can save yourself a lot by just finding your trees that you don't have to maneuver on, and it makes it much safer. And like I say, falling out of one of these is, if you're inspecting your equipment regularly, the way that you would fall if you did fall, since you're falling away from the tree, causing this to cinch, it's not likely that you would ever hit the ground. Nothing's 100%, but most accidents occur due to human error, unreliable material, improper climbing equipment, not being familiar with the knot you're using. So, keeping things simple actually makes it easier to keep things safer. But if there's any evolution that's actually taken place in Tether, I would like to see it. If somebody knows about something that I don't, I would appreciate letting me know. I've seen some methods improved. One specifically is the 2-foot technique. By using a saddle, it is actually improved. But as far as any kind of real evolution in Tether, I seen a guy climb a pole this morning on a video. Took him 9 seconds, and it looked like he climbed about 18 feet. Now, them guys do that stuff. It's amazing what some of them do over. But yeah, I just haven't seen anything evolving that's, in my opinion, would be impressive in any way. But I hope you guys take the safety serious, because that should be the main priority anytime we're climbing in the woods. And I hope some of this information helps some of you guys out. And I know a lot of it, some of it is just about history, but I think it's important. And I appreciate you guys watching.